Welcome to Pardon the Penetration. I am Jay.
And I'm T.
And this week we will be talking about TurboTax getting hit with a cyber attack, new vulnerabilities in 4G and 5G cell phone protocols, and four high school students in New Jersey hacking their classmates' grades, and the mayor of Tampa's Twitter being hacked.
No, really?
Yes.
Oh. I'll be talking about a new Trojan attack that's masked as a payment confirmation that's not being able to be tracked. Also, there is the password managers that we talked about. Not as safe.
Mine was not included.
Okay. Oh, all right. We'll see. But they're not as safe as we think they are. And also the UK has found out that breaches have been reported at a significantly higher rate than they were the previous year.
All right. So the first story is, did you already do your taxes?
Yeah, I did my taxes. Had to try and get my money in, get my
that
my
direct
refund.
deposit hit already?
Not yet. I got some things I got to do with it.
Did you do it with TurboTax?
No. I got a person.
Oh, you got a person?
I got a person.
Then when you make big money like that, you get people. The TurboTax was hit with a cyber attack. Officials reported an unofficial party obtained tax return data by using credentials obtained from an outside source, quote unquote. They kept this really vague, but basically it was a credential stuffing attack. The incident was discovered doing a normal, system security audit. Okay. So they must have been reviewing logs and realized some don't add up. This is not right. So Intuit is the creator of TurboTax, right. And if the login was successful from any of the credentials that, attackers can obtain, they had access to, your address, how much you make, your social security number, wow. A lot of sensitive information, exactly. Your driver's license number included.
All the stuff you need.
Yeah. So Intuit did make any affected accounts temporarily unavailable to protect the data. And they did advise, those affected to update your password. And they're offering 1 free year of credit monitoring, identity restoration, and identity protection.
So the standard thing everybody offers once they get caught.
Why isn't that free by default?
I have no idea. It's like everything else is paid for. I guess because these services, they charge us Safeguard or whatever
I didn't even give you my information, bro. Why do I have to pay to a protection for my identity? But it's whatever. I guess they really just going through the motions. But I did file my taxes with TurboTax though.
But are you good? Did you
my direct deposit already hit, so,
right, so
I'm hoping everything's good. But I did not get a notification of mine.
So no one ran a drop on you, nothing like that.
No, they ain't get me. Knock on wood.
Speaking of payment confirmations, there's a new Trojan attack that's going around. That it's the attack pattern that they're seeing in it. You know how you normally look at your email headers, you look at your subject lines, you look at the body of the context, because all this stuff usually follows the same type of attack, like certain keywords and things like that. Well, you can throw that out the window because this new attack is it's all over the place. They don't know. It's very hard for your anti-phishing filters to pick it up. There's no consistency in these email headers or anything like that. But they do notice that somehow it downloads a Word document in the background. It didn't say exactly what the Word document does, but it could be malicious, probably used to run the Trojan. And then on top of that, the only one keyword that they found in everything was the word invoice. So it was some type of reference to an invoice, like receipt for invoice such and such, payment for invoice this, and it would be in the header or the body. So it's pretty interesting there.
So any signature baseline, any behavioral baseline, just throw all of that away for your antivirus.
No, we doing something different. 2019 is what they're saying.
That is disturbing.
Yeah, new year, new method. Guess it is.
You're right. Speaking of vulnerabilities, a new vulnerability in 4G and 5G wireless protocol phone protocols. Security researchers found vulnerabilities in 4G and 5G, which promises, faster speeds and better security. But things that are affected with this vulnerability is like the stingray method that law enforcement uses. And the torpedo vulnerability exploits a weakness in the paging protocol that carriers use to notify a phone call before a call or text message go through.
Okay.
You ever accidentally call somebody and then you hung up real quick before the call even went to them,
Right.
but they still hit you back like, did you call me?
I was like, how'd you figure that out? Like I hung up before. Wrong. Yeah.
Yep. So there is a paging protocol,
okay.
and that is what this vulnerability affects. That so people can start sending fake notifications. Along with that, this vulnerability allows for your location data to be picked up. So, you remember I got the hookup?
A little bit, yeah.
So with that movie, they got the cell phones. They started selling it for the low, and then the call got intercepted, and then it went on like a wild goose hunt. That's what I feel like this is, like a real life I got the hookup vulnerability. The 4 major carriers have not said anything about it, and obviously the proof of concept code, vulnerability code, hasn't been released for security reasons. But this causes a lot of privacy issues. Your average script kiddie wouldn't be able to, exploit this, but people that know what they're doing, especially when it comes to law enforcement and military, they use this technology.
Right, and they can do some pretty advanced attacks, some notifications going out. You think it's real, click on link here, go there, and boom.
Pretty much.
Now you're compromised.
It's disturbing. Yeah,
very disturbing. So you remember the other week you were bragging about how secure some password managers are, and you're tooting your own horn saying that yours was the best.
And I'm still correct.
Well, hopefully it's not one of these 4 that they found. It was 1Pass, Dashlane, KeyPass, and LastPass.
It's not one of those, but I've never heard of Dashlane.
So you're good. A independent researcher found out that they're not as secure as they were saying that they were as far as protecting your password. Some research done said they did have some of the security in place that they were talking about, but they found that in the memory was being stored the master password for these password managers in plain text. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do, because I know LastPass did get hit a couple years ago with a breach. They had a breach. So, but they said they tightened everything up. So,
and that's in the volatile memory, correct?
Yes. Volatile like RAM, yeah.
Okay. No, mine is not on that list, and most likely it's not on that list because it's a less popular one.
Okay.
And the one that I use, they're actually pretty transparent about their security stuff. But we good over here.
Okay. So you still holding tight. Okay, still solid.
Speaking of passwords, 4 high school students in Dickinson, in New Jersey, they're Dickinson High School students.
Okay.
They obtained the usernames and passwords for their teachers to change their classmates' grades.
I feel like somebody does this every year.
So Pembroke Pines High School did this back in like January.
Okay.
So I want to say if it was in January this year, it might be January of last year.
All right.
But theirs was actually like a pay for hire hacking, like, oh, pay me, I hack your grade type thing. This one, it just seems like there's a much information. The police department and district officials traced that what the students had done inside the system. They said that no personal information for the students were obtained or touched. It looks like they just went in and it was just changing a couple grades.
Okay, so they weren't like back in the day where you had this like teacher assistant or class teacher, class aide,
student aide.
Yeah, student aide. That just randomly access.
I want to say that has to be the way they got the information, because I'm like, how do they get? Because they said they don't know how many teachers' information they did obtain. So obviously it's more than one. But I'm like, how did they get that information? But now that you bring that up, student aid sounds legit.
Teacher may also keep the password on the side on sticky note.
Oh my God, I'd hope not.
So one of our favorite topics on here is GDPR.
Mm-mm.
We talk about it all the time. Something always pops up. Not my favorite
topic.
I think it's your favorite topic. Something always pop up. Well, GDPR, they're thinking in the UK, is the reason why companies are being more transparent now with their breaches. They recently found out that from 2017 to 2018, there was an increase of reported breaches, and it increased by 480%. Wow,
480%.
I know that sounds like a lot, but
sounds.
I know it sounds like you're like, wow, Yeah.
That's a lot, man.
That is a lot. I mean, it's still a lot of breaches, but it was like 25 breaches that was reported the year previously, and then 2018 it's about 145 that was reported. So it looks like companies are being more transparent because of these penalties and these regulations that are in place.
So nobody want to get got.
No one wants to get got.
So a part of GDPR is to be transparent about, what is going on.
Right.
So I feel like they must have been like, oh, that don't count, so don't report it or something.
Yeah, back then it was like, yeah, it's need to know basis. We'll just hush this under the table.
That's disturbing.
It is.
What was the major arena or area that was affected?
It was actually investment banking was the one that had the most reports. It's probably about 35, which was reported.
So if you're sending your money like overseas offshores?
If they're investing, they're doing different type of tradings. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of breaches, did you receive a message about a missile coming towards Tampa last week?
No, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been here if I got a message.
Well, the mayor of Tampa, Twitter got hacked last week, and a part of that was last Thursday a hacker took to take over their account. And he sent out a fake bomb threat to Tampa International Airport, along with a claim that a ballistic missile is heading for the Tampa Bay area. Police are searching for whoever is responsible. Twitter did reach out to, the mayor's office to let them know, a few security tips to avoid their account being hacked. Even the city of Tampa sent out a tweet letting, users to change their passwords and all of that stuff.
So no, y'all need to change your passwords.
Yeah, because the hackers use Mayor Buckhorn's Twitter account to tweet racist, sexist, and pornographic content.
I mean, normally what they do in that case, but no, I did not. I'm also kind of worried I didn't get a notification from the city of Tampa.
I did not either. All of his tweets are deleted. Even the genuine tweets have been deleted. But I was like, y'all can warn me. Like I got nothing.
This is pretty important. Like I know the people, it was like in Hawaii or California when someone did the same thing, said there was a
they
missile.
Were scared.
Heck yeah, I'll be scared too.
I would want some sort of warning. I just think it's funny how we, have this show every
Maybe
week.
It was in the spirit of Gasparilla. He was a pirate and he just pirated.
Nah, man, he going out with a bang.
Nah, he really is going out with
Elections are what, next week? Yes, elections are next week. So I guess this is way he going out, man. But I didn't get notified, but I'm glad it was just a hack and nothing serious.
Yes.
Got any church announcements?
No church announcements on mine. You?
Nope, still saved.
It's great.
Yep, that's it.
This has been Partner Penetration.
I'm Jay.
And I'm T.
And that's it.